Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the CR&E Morning Brew. Morning Brew crew. See you guys in here? All right. Let me get my coffee situated here. See what we got in here. Thomas Trains, good morning, sir. And McCurdy, good morning. Lee, good afternoon to you. There we go. I like that first cup of Joe. Nothing like it. I gotta rearrange his desk at some point in time. Listening and running trains. Well, that's cool. I get a train running here. Hey, Andy. How you doing, sir? Dave, Carolina Foothills. What's going on, buddy? Grandpa Rails, good morning. How you doing, JD? Ronald, good morning. There's Curly. How you doing, Curly? Morning, Joe. How you doing this morning? Joe just put out a couple of cool videos with those silos from, I think it was Bruce Churro. Is that who you said? Really nice work he does, all 3D printed, and then Joe painted them up really nice. So check out those videos on Joe. Joe's getting pretty close to what Pappy posted some. I don't know if you're getting close to 1,000 subs or something like that. We're just saying good morning. Hopefully I'm sounding okay here. There's James. Good morning, James. On this junction. The BNSN scale. Good morning, Dave. You thought out, yeah, Curly. I'll tell you what, man. It was like 70 yesterday. It's only gonna be like a high of 50 today, and it's already been there. So it's going to drop throughout the day down to, I think later on today it's going to be more like low 30s, and and it's been raining, so it's like really damp. You know how you get that cold dampness? So I think it makes it feel colder than it is. Hey, Jason the Train Freak, how's it going? Good morning, all in chat, listening in the background while doing paperwork. All right, a little bit. I gotta show you. There's some of the track up top laid. I haven't connected the full main lines in yet. I got tired of doing curves, so I decided to go ahead and get the crossovers all wired up, and tortoises and signals, and the signals I do. I'm not getting fancy with the signals. I just green, red. Green is straight. Red is, diverging. Simple, easy peasy, cheap Chinese friggin' signals. Good enough for this railroad. But I was working on that past couple days. It was good. It's good. Upper rails, narrow entrance to the campground. I was the second vehicle exiting, caught the wheel on a rock. No one else could exit one time. I didn't catch the first comment. Well, some of you are answering a comment. Sorry, guys. I'm kind of tired this morning. I don't know what the hell to deal with. I feel like I slept too good last night for some reason. 3-4 inches of white snow. Could have been worse. Yeah, I'm hoping we're done with that. We might get a few. They said maybe some rain, snow showers today. I think we're basically done with any major snow. You get some of them days where you get some of that sleet kind of. I don't know how to explain it, but I don't really foresee any major storms. It's not unusual to have them like even in April. I mean, it snowed in May. I remember a few times. Not really as common though. Hey, Anthony, Georgia Sunbelt. Good morning. Matt Osterberry. Good morning, Matt. Buddy from up in Michigan. Sunny and windy, 70 degrees yesterday, 30s and snow this afternoon. Yeah, same here, man. Welcome to spring, right? Spring in the Great Lakes Midwest, right? Good morning, Cowboy Steve. How you doing, sir? Yeah, yesterday was a beautiful day here, too. Unfortunately, I was working all day. Got to enjoy a little bit of it in the afternoon when I got off, but dark outside at 6 a.m. Yeah, sorry, man. Stormy sky. Happy morning. Oh, happy spring. And Dave, yeah. Ray Bertelson, good morning to you, sir. Yeah, spring kind of is like that, you know. Tornadoes and very bad storms here yesterday, and then hail, and woke up to snow. Now, we woke up to snow Monday morning. Like, I got up, it was like 4 a.m., went and did what I had to do in the bathroom. It was just raining. I came out like a half an hour later after I took my shower and everything, and there was white on the ground. I was like, what the hell? Didn't last. It was just enough to make a mess of the morning drive, you know. But that's, like I said, that's spring here in the northwest or northeast Great Lakes. Dwayne's working spoon. How you doing, buddy? Get him, Grandpa Rails. I'm out of heavy whipping cream, so using milk in my coffee. Not the same. Oh, you use heavy whipping cream in your coffee? Is that better than doing half and half? Does it give it more of a rich, like flavor texture? Because it's thicker? I wonder. Is it better? Like, I wonder if it's less calories. I use that Italian sweet creamer. I need to get away from it, man. There's just so many calories in it. If I could cut the sugar and like that sweet cream out, I cut a lot of calories out of my diet for sure. The river and East, I'll send you the picture I'm messaging with Grandpa Rails about. Oh, gotcha. $64 over there for Andy at the moment. Hey, Chris, Tennessee River Union. Chris is making some good progress on his new bridge crossing area. He did his last video about he was talking about doing. So, absolutely love snort piles. I mixture of snow and dirt. We call it snort. Yeah, and after they push it all from the parking lots with all the grit and grime and everything from the asphalt, looks okay at first, and then as it starts to melt, it ends up being almost black. That is pretty gross. You almost look forward to a little dusting of snow to cover it. I was in a can. How did you know? Nah, I waiting on a coffee pot to finish. I thought the wife turned it on. She thought I turned it on. I'm down here trying to get the trains up and running and the cameras repositioned and stuff. And like, did you start that coffee yet? That was earlier, way earlier. See, 61 here, cool for Florida, especially in the late part of March. Yeah. The whipped cream is good. I mean, I like heavy whipping cream. I don't think I ever tried it in my coffee, though. The fake creamers, look at them chemicals, lists of ingredients. Yep. Hey, Fred, I finally caught up with some of your videos yesterday while I was sitting on my lunch break. Thanks for keeping them short. I was able to catch them. I only get 30 minutes for lunch. So, yeah, man, I didn't know. I'm not getting notifications. I did not see that you tore down the 8x16 or whatever it was that you started last summer or winter and started a shelf layout. That's pretty cool. Like I said in the one comment to you, I don't know that I'd do a big layout again. I don't know. I do like having a circle, though. I do like sometimes just to sit down here. It is relaxing. But maybe like do a shelf layout on one wall and then have like a connecting loop, maybe another little shelf area on another wall, but not like a full-blown layout. I don't know, maybe something like that. And it would depend on space and everything too, but yeah, man, that's pretty cool. So good on you. Hopefully I'll start getting the notifications again. It just ticks me off, man. I even double checked. It says all notifications. I'm subscribed and the box is checked. Morning, Dave. EWM Trains. Train Freak says Chris is doing an amazing job on the painting he's doing for me. Yeah, I saw a couple of sneak peeks he showed me, and it is looking good. It's a little different for Chris to do it in black and white. I think he's doing a nice job. I don't know if you've seen it. I'm not going to give too much away if you haven't seen it, but it's going to be a really cool painting. Hey, Mike, Osteria, Ohio, Monterey. Did you guys restart your club down there? It looked like I gotta watch them. You put up a video. I don't know if it was today or yesterday or the day before. It looked like it was a whole different layout. I watch most of my videos on TV when I'm home, and I feel like videos I watch on my phone don't get transferred over, like as far as my watch history. I mean, if I go into history, it will, but it's not like giving me the suggestions for my subscriptions. I guess I have to go under subscriptions, but even then, I got so many people I'm subscribed to. I just have to really search. But I want to check that out too. John Garvin, good morning. I need a small amount of whipping cream in the coffee. I have to try that, man. I don't know why I haven't thought of that. I mean, it's basically just milk. I mean, the taste-wise, it's not going to be really. I think it'd be more of a texture, a thickness, to it maybe. But hey, man, I'm up for it. I give it a shot. Good old Canadian coffee. Which Canadian coffee? Tim Hortons? Hey, Wesley. Let's see. Do what I'm doing. Double level layout with balloon loops on top of each other, which makes it a really long dog bone. I look back at this, and the room is a very odd shape. It's not a big square. It's not a rectangle. Anybody who's been here will tell you it's an L-shaped layout. The room is decent size, but it's not as big as you think it is. So I don't know. I'm very happy with it. I like what I'm doing here. I get frustrated from time to time, absolutely, but I like it. I'm getting there. I'm going to keep to my promise to myself. I want to have this, at least the main lines back in up top and operating by the end of this month, which should be very doable, even if I'm very lazy about it. I've been doing a lot more over the last week. Not really to the end here. I just want to make sure I see everybody. But okay, James, probably long gone by now. Let's see. This comment was at what time? 9:12. It's 9:15. No, it's only 3 minutes ago. I'm not too far behind, guys. Black Rifle or HEB coffee? Yeah, I've been liking the Blackout too, Anthony. It's Blackout coffee more so than a Black Rifle. Well, yeah, love that. At least the pecan from HEB. I don't know what other flavors that you've gotten from them, um, but it's really good. I like that pecan. Black Rifle, I really like their pumpkin spice or whatever they have in the fall. The Blackout, I get a lot of my other flavors from. I like 1776 is just a nice dark roast from Blackout. We love their chocolate cherry, their blueberry. We got some kind of peppermint or something at Christmas time. Just to change it up, from just plain old coffee. Morning, Wesley. How are you? I'm fine. Says Grandpa Rails. Chris sends me pictures from time to time on the painting. Well, that's good. So that's your brother's layout, Mike? I thought he was N scale. Is he N scale? Is that at your brother's house? Or is he? Didn't you guys have something like it was in the front, like porch area of your house? You had like an enclosed porch, if I'm not mistaken. I could be totally wrong. Wouldn't be wrong. It wouldn't be odd if I was wrong. Big storm yesterday in Maryville, Indiana, and a power outage. I don't know. What if that's the same stuff that Curly was just talking about. Is that where you live at, Wesley, out in the Indiana area? I'm gonna have to get that way then because Dwight lives over there. If you're over there, who else was over there? I'm blanking. Matt, you gonna go up to the National Train Show? And I think it's July. I think it's in Novi, Michigan. I'd like to kind of come up there and meet up with some of you guys up in that area. Maybe depending on how things are going, maybe some of the guys from Canada will come down. Maybe Bex and Mike. He's pretty close to the border there. Could just be for a day, maybe overnight, but probably just for the day. I'm not sure how far. Like, is it near Detroit? Detroit's about 2.5 hours or so to 3 hours. I could easily get up, get there in the morning, and then spend some time and be a late night or whatever. But I'm dragging the snowblower out one more time after this, of course. Look, I'm just happy that my snowplow guy had to do some work this year. Damn it. Yes, and he is an N-scale NHO, and yep, his N-scale layout is on the porch of his house. The HO is in the basement. Okay. Sounds good. Not trying to be nosy. I'm just trying to put it all together. Because now you get that awesome layout, club layout. That's what I was wondering. You said something about rebuilding something with the club layout. I have to go back the videos. Let's see. Maybe it'll be in my history. I don't know. No. Like a spell we'd be in business. Stay at home, our railroad club. Layout update 8x20. 8x20. Is that your brother's? Shit, man, I'm way behind on your videos, Mike. I'm gonna have to catch up. Sorry, buddy. Hey, Mike. How you doing, man? Good afternoon to you. He started getting calls from the hospital. Son is with his mother. Stays for it. I'm sorry, Lynn. That really sucks. Hey, Randall. Yeah, it's been super windy, man, even up here, too. We sold the N-scale club layout, the last one that was in the garage. Yeah, because you had the N-scale was like kind of above the HO scale on the wall, I think. I've only been to the club once. I'd like to get out there more often. Not super far, but it's far enough. It's not like I can just pop in when I want to, you know. It's a couple hours anyways. So I wish I was closer. I would love to have a club nearby me. I did meet up with a guy. He's more of a Facebook friend. He doesn't do much with YouTube or anything. His name's Michael. He's a local. He's about 20 minutes from me, and we're here in Painesville. My Model Tech rail liner from the UK yesterday to use for my removable staging. Works great. Oh, good. Oh, those like things they lock together when you have like a lift out or whatever, or a swing up or down. You know what I mean? Lift bridge. Very windy in Arkansas as well. Lost power 3 times, just a few seconds each. Not a single cloud in the sky. Wow. Leave from Pastoria to Cleveland in 90 minutes, roughly. Yeah. Well, I remember, too, I'm on the east side of Cleveland, too, so you're not like going to Cleveland proper. I'm on the northeast side of the town there, so. But still not like it's a half an hour away. I can just pop in on any given day. Or Saturday 1 to 5. Okay. Saturday wouldn't be a bad day because I can leave the house, you know, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, head over to the Rail Fan Park for a little while, and meet you guys over at the club, hang out. At least once in a while. Are you open year round, or are you guys shut down for the summer, or just how do you guys work? Can't remember if you have like air conditioning or anything up there, or if it gets too hot in the summer or whatever. Definitely nobody is over on the west side of Detroit. Over the snag, one of the freeways you take to get there is closed. We rail snafu coming from the south and the north. All right. Delta 9, good morning from snowy Chicago. It's snow in Chicago? Keep it there. I don't want any more of that shit. It's to the airport. Yeah, see, I'm about another 20 minutes or 25 minutes east of the airport. Northeast of the airport. So that makes sense. And if it takes you roughly 90 minutes, it would take me 120, roughly. And traffic, weather, speed, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, it's not horrible. It's just not like you're just down the street and I can just go. I would like to find something more, and like especially on the east side of Cleveland would be perfect. There is one on the west side, which is about a half an hour away. Problem is the days that they operate are days that I really can't go. So you see a bearded guy walking around Cabot carrying a Christian flag, honk at him. That's my kid. open all year round. Also, we have switching operations on Thursdays, 5 to 8. And I wish I work on Friday mornings at 5:30. I'm off on Thursdays, but, you know, they get me home kind of late. Maybe if I ever have a Friday off or if I'm on vacation or something like that, I'm not going anywhere, I have to keep that in mind. Will do, Joe. All right, let me see if I can change cameras. So which one it is. There we go. All right, so, Jason, don't mind all those mess to the left. That's just crap. Stuff I have to do still. But yeah, I got the two mains in, double crossovers. Well, not double, but I got the crossovers in. Got my little lights up there. And all wired in. So I don't have a train running up there or anything, but I'll show you the lights. Are just very simple. Switch it to diverging, it turns red. Same with that one. So that's all I'm looking for. Nice and simple. Yeah, but you don't want to see to the right or the left of the camera, behind the camera. That's where all the junk's at. It's a mess back there. So everything got shoved. The stuff you're seeing is just stuff I was using because I dropped in a bunch of feeders and like I said, I wired up the tortoises. Yeah, thanks, Lynn. And put these signals in. I figured, well, I might as well just do the signals when I do the tortoises. Just because I'm already in there wiring, I might as well just wire those up. Prototypical, probably not. It's okay. It's just for me mostly. I'm usually the only guy here running anyways. It was more for me to see. I could look down the line and just see that, yeah, they're turned the proper way. So that's all I'm looking for. So the entrance to the intermodal yard is going to be down there where that third signal is, next to that locomotive. Yeah, I'll run that locomotive a little bit. I got to pull this next turnout here. It's going to come back down to the bottom here. I'm getting a short right on that frog there, going backwards through it. At least I was last night. But I think in that frog, I'm going to have to put plastic joiners. I think. See if it does it today. Yeah, right there, see? Shorted out. It's right in that frog. I guess that's what you call it. So I finished that up kind of late last night, and didn't really have much time to mess with it, so I'll probably mess with it a little bit more today. Turn that off. Getting to me. Well, yeah, so that's what I've been working on. I'm around the corner with the main lines down behind the camera where you can't see. I got to do the next curve coming back in before the town and everything. Closed for 2 years. You could use 23 and cut across. You take 69, comes south. We'll figure it out. Yeah. Yeah, but I don't want to go through that cesspool of Ann Arbor. You know. Hey, Stu Structures. How you doing, Stu? Thank you, Delta 9. Thanks, Matt. Definitely not prototypical, but it works. Makes sense for you, Dave. Now, if you want them to be prototypical, I need to get you on LCC. Nah, no, you don't. I'm not getting into that. I got enough money tied up into this friggin' layout, man. I'm not getting into more. I'm happy with it. No power on the switch rail. No, it's shorting right there, though. So I think if I put plastic joiner in this little connection between the two turnouts, thinking that might solve my issue because I didn't put plastic in there. Because these are all insel frogs, they're not powered. No, that's a Crooked River and Eastern locomotive. It's pretty similar to the bankruptcy Rock Island scheme. It's kind of unintentionally that way, but it kind of is. I haven't tried any other engines. I figured testing it with a 4-axle will probably be my best bet. Just because of the short wheelbase and everything. But again, it's not losing power there. It's shorting out. I don't know if it's touching that the points there somewhere, not the points, but that little V there where it comes into that frog or what? Those are Pico SL 88, 89s, so they're the longer ones, probably number 8s, I'm guessing. They're about 11.5 inches long, 10.5, 11 inches, somewhere in that. I use those on the main line where I can. I've changed this plan up so many times. I'm not buying any more turnouts, so if I have to use, number 6s, I will. But on these like crossovers like this, I like to use the longer ones. But as far as like just a mainline turnout going into a spur to an industry or whatever, I'm not worried about it if I just use a number 6. Never really had a big issue with them. Maybe they don't look as good, you know what I mean? But yeah. That would be a cool series, Jason. I'm not interested in spending any more money and changing everything up. This is just something like these signals were all kind of like an afterthought because I saw a need for it. It just helps me see what, I have going as far as alignment and stuff goes. It might. Been a long time since I've been up there. I used to run 23 up. I don't know if it took me to Lansing, 23 to something over to Lansing. I used to deliver Texas Roadhouse and cookers all over that area when I was with Cisco back in the early 2000s. I think I was up in there 2003-ish. I could do that too, Ray. It's a good idea. I'm not sure. I might have already cut the trip pins off. I cut a lot of trip pins off. I'm not a big fan of them. I don't use magnets or anything. You already have a little series? Yeah, I know, man. I love Texas Roadhouse. Damn buns with that freaking butter, cinnamon butter, whatever they have. But yeah, so it's coming along though. I mean, it's amazing how long things take to do. You're like, just a quick 10 minutes, I'll be done with it, and then it's like one of the tortoises, because these are kind of used and abused. I've had them for a while now. I must have like a thicker throw bar on it, thickness. And I was having a hell of a time, and I don't want to hear the jokes, but I was having a hell of a time getting to go through the hole of the turnout from underneath. Now I had another one in my hand, and I was able to get that one to go through from the top down and from the bottom up. So I'm thinking it was a little tighter. I got it in there finally, but I was like, just aggravating, man. Just stupid things like that just take long. And the nice thing is you can't really see it, but that green box just to the right of that yellow drill bit case is double-sided, like thick double-sided tape. I put that on there, and then I get it up underneath and get it aligned, and then I stick it up there with that tape, which in turn holds it in place so I can drill and put a couple screws in. So I know it's not going to eventually come falling down. So it's kind of a nice way to do it. I've seen guys where they'll leave the bar long and use like I don't know, we would call it like a vice grip or something to hold on to the pin as they mark the holes and all that, or they'll use the template and all that other shit. But this works really good for me. I guess I could eventually do like a little video on that. Oh, Cisco, I dealt with them in the past. Careers can make good money if you're a sales rep. I was never a sales rep. I was always a driver, delivery driver. Chris, leave it up to Chris. I've had problems with wheels shorting between rows at the frog, same on Pico turnouts. What have you done to solve that? He lives in his cabin, okay. Because I'm thinking if I put those plastic rail joiners, the insulated joiners, that would kind of help. We kind of almost deaden that area. The only problem is, with those 4 axles, you take a chance of losing power in those areas. All right, Dave, thanks for popping in, buddy. Good to see you. Double-sided tape is essential, plus a longer pin. Double-sided tape, definitely. The longer pin would help. Like I said, these were already used, and I've cut the pins, So, I'm going to reuse them. I don't want to buy all new pins. I mean, they work fine. It was just that one was a little bit thicker, apparently, or that hole was a little jacked up or something. Shut up, Chris. I can hear you thinking. File out the frog a bit. Could try that. Yeah, I've seen guys do the nail polish thing. I was thinking about that. It does wear off, but I guess if there's a problem there and it's a cheap fix, because it only goes like you saw it come through fine forward. It was when I went backwards through there. So maybe I'll have to try a different locomotive. Maybe it's just that locomotive. Maybe the wheels are a little wobbly or off or something. I'll have to check the gauge. I mean, any little thing, it's such a fine area in there. Any little thing can set it off. But if that's going to set it off, wheels on a freight car will do the same thing because my wheels are all metal. So I got to fix it. It's on Sandy Avenue. Joe, I don't think I realized you had a son. How many kids do you have? I never really talked to you about having kids and stuff. So, thin styrene shims will work for insulation joiners. Yeah, I thought about trying to get my Dremel down in there or something, and see, there's a metal rail joiner though, so even an insulated shim isn't going to do the trick because you're still getting power on the bottom side of the rail, and you know what I mean, from the joiner. Living a pineapple under the sea. Still here today. Do you use Pico? I use Insul Frogs. Yeah, and I don't know why this one's giving me trouble. It might just be the turnout. I had them. They were some of the first ones I bought for the old layout. So, got 3 kids, all adopted by the new husband many years ago. Long story. Okay. Maybe someday we'll sit around drinking coffee, and if you know. Oh, hey, James. That wasn't long. I did pick up a new cup. I broke my old one, big dummy. I put the On Track Tuesday logo on the backside of it. So that came the other day. Yeah, that's true, Dave. I think I'm gonna try the plastic joiners first because that's easier to remove than the nail polish. If I guess it's not, nail polish ain't that hard to remove, but it might just be what I do, the nail polish eventually. I mean, or I might have to replace that turnout. It might be something with that particular turnout too. So I would try another engine before doing any work on the turnout. Just saying. Yeah, good point. I do have some other 4 axles. I'm going to try 6 axle. Run a couple cars through there as well. All right, Dave. Thanks for the advice on the turnout, and I will definitely keep you guys posted on how that goes. Last time you visited was almost 20 years ago. Wow, time flies though, man. Probably don't feel like 20 years. Sounds like this yard when I was going to use that one switch to go to the then planned over easy yard. Yeah, sometimes it's just something so stupid that you just can't seem to think about it. You're looking at the turnout, you're looking at, okay, it's a crossover, so when it's flipped this way, I should get power off of this rail and that rail come through. These other rails shouldn't really affect anything. But then it doesn't work that way. You're like, well, why do I have a dead spot? Not even a short. There's other turnouts I've fought with in the past where I have a dead spot. So I drop a feeder. And then I get a short. I'm like, well, why am I getting a short now? Shouldn't be getting a short there. It makes all the sense in the world when I'm looking at it and visualizing. When this rail touches there, I'm grabbing power off of that rail, and this one I'm grabbing power off of this rail. So on and so forth. And it'll drive you batty. Have you been Scout Train show on the road, those different locations, cross country? No, first of all, hello, Scott. I didn't see you come in. If you were here and I didn't say hi, I apologize. I was years ago at the Suncoast Model Railroad Club with Robert Sacco. Tom's Trains and Things was there. Met me there with Jim Tedesco. And we all hung out there. But I just got a memory on my Facebook about that. That was 2018 or 19. And they came to the club. And it was when they first came out with those backpacker 40-foot container well cars and stuff. So, and then I've seen them at like Amherst, a couple other shows they've been at. I've seen they had their booth set up, but they never have anything for sale or anything. They're just showing off their shit. You can't even buy anything. I think the one show they released, what the hell locomotive they released? Was it their Dash 9s or something where you had to be at the show and you can buy. They had so many for sale that day. Might have been Givos, but a little garbled when you said 4-axle and 6-axle. I thought you were talking about politicians. Nope. I would replace the switch because I ran in the same situation a long time ago, and after I replaced that one switch, I had no more problems. I might do that. I got to see if I have another one to replace it with, or maybe I'll have to order one. Yeah, no doubt, Fred. 1 minute they're working great, the next minute they're acting up. In fact, I feel like I ran through that switch a couple times before I started having that short. There's a quirk with a particular Atlas turnout. There's a video of how to correct it on YouTube. It's a reverse the throw bar. Real easy fix. Huh. Well, it's a good thing it's an easy fix, but the bottom line is, why am I having to fix a brand new turnout from any company? This is not a brand new turnout. I'm just saying, when you're talking about that Atlas, I don't know if those are their newer ones, which are kind of cool. They don't have the little pivot like things. It's the whole point rail is one solid rail, and it just bends instead of having that pivot point that sometimes you have issues with. Where you have the rivet or whatever in there, or the check for a lost track spike. It could be anything. I have to look around more. Like I said, it was getting late when I was messing with it last night, dropping those feeders. I don't think I cut any rail. Say I got a little piece of rail or something, underneath or somewhere. But I will definitely investigate it more today when I get off of here. Morning, Bud Files. Never mind. It was funny to me. It's all that matters. It's all that matters, Steve. I'm glad I don't have to deal with these issues since I build my own switches. Yeah, I mean, that is true. Picos are pretty reliable, though. I get an issue like this once in a while, but you got to remember, this turnout has been with me since 2017 when I started the old layout. It's been in and out a couple different times. With that layout, I think I moved it a few times, you know what I mean? Plus, I tore it out of the other layout and, I scrubbed them all down with soapy water and that. So who knows, man? If I have to replace it, I do. It's what it is. Don't really want to spend the money to do that, but if I have to, I will. I'm going to try other fixes first. But it's not a brand new turnout. It's not like something that I just pulled out of the box and it's acting up, I never tried the electro frogs. I figured I'd have more issues with shorting and stuff with those. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not understanding the difference. Plus, these are code 100s. And like I said, I've explained that many times where I wasn't going to replace all those turnouts just to go to code 83. To do it all over in the very beginning again from 2017 and the old layout, I would have went with code 83 to begin with. Just for the realism. I mean, I don't notice it because I'm used to seeing the code 100. Like I said, I've gone to other guys' layouts. Anthony, for example. His track looks so tiny. Like the rails look so skinny and so small. But they look great. That's true. That's true. Yeah, Steve, so far that's only going in the reverse direction through the point or through the frog. You saw when I did it, I just ran it through forward, no issues. It was going backwards through. I guess I got to flip that locomotive around, try to go forward. Maybe it's something to do with that back truck or something on that locomotive. It's an old Balkman. Runs good. Still a Bachman, but it runs good. I purchased from Jason a Tsunami 2 PNP board, and I put that in there with a Keep Alive too, so it's got a Keep Alive in it. I need to take one of my locomotives that doesn't have a Keep Alive and use that for testing track. Preferably a 4-axle, especially going through turnouts. Yeah, you know who to blame, that's for sure. There are people older than you still making their own turnouts. Age is only a number. That's true. Is that just that? It's the oh, they do. Okay. It's the desire to do it and the patience to do it. And again, I'm not going to replace all my turnouts just to start making them. That's an issue right there that I have. I'll fix that issue. As an issue comes up, I will fix those issues. I use mostly Pico Electro because of dead frog problems on 4-axle locos. No, I didn't turn around. See, that's what I was just saying. I'll try that later. Jason, or maybe you know, Fred, as well. With the tortoise machines, you can power the frog, right? But it's an electric frog, so it's a plastic frog, or it's got a plastic coating on it at least. So I don't know that I can even power that frog if I wanted to. I don't think that it's not a dead spot. I'm getting a short there. Last night I actually have this little round mirror at the dollar store. But when I solder the track on the back side of the track, I can put the mirror up and see what the hell I'm doing. This one is further back. Nice little tip from Crooked Dave. Works out great. So as it was going through that turnout, I put the mirror back there, and I could see a little spark. So it's getting a short there. A couple times I saw a little spark. And so it's definitely shorting out on that section there, on that little frog. I'm going to call it a frog. I think I'm calling it the right thing. Get him, JD. Get him, Grandpa Rails. Use Walther's turnouts. I've never used Walther's. I have a couple of Atlas on here, the big long Atlas curved ones, which I'm probably going to have some I'm not going to use. With the new track plan, I removed one for sure. I might have another one I'm not going to use. I don't know. If I don't use them, I might, once I get everything settled, it might be a year from now. I might actually look at selling them or whatever. If I don't end up using them. And they've worked out pretty good. I've had no issues with, these are the older Atlas ones. Not older, I mean, they're DCC friendly. I believe they are, I want to say they're insulated frogs. They're really cool though, man. They're long as hell. Let me see if I can grab one. I got one over here somewhere I pulled out. All right, turn that locomotive around too while I was over there. Yeah, these are those Pico or the Atlas. I think they're 127s, 128s, something like that. They're nice. They're not like they don't have the little snap like the Picos have a little spring in them. These don't, so you have to use either some kind of hand throw, or use the tortoises or one of those type of machines. So this is metal in here. Feels metal, but there's plastic there just to isolate that frog. So potentially you would have a dead spot in there. And you can power that. It does give you a little, where's that? Right here. There's a little pin you can, what do you call it with? Look up here. All right, where's it at now? All right, so it's actually shorting out now too. See, look at that. So I don't know if it actually came off the tractor. No. Right in here, guys. It's annoying. So I'm not in the way there. So I'm wondering if, like right here, I don't know if you guys can see me, but where these two meet, they're coming in like this. What if I put plastic here and plastic there? It's kind of dead in this section here. I don't know if you can see any of this that I'm talking about. So I would pick up power on this part, and then back in here when this rail is touching, maybe this rail would stay powered. And when it's flipped this way, I'll pick up power here on the outside rail, and nothing in here. We'll kind of isolate this section here because there's plastic in the middle. You know what? I mean, this here, I thought maybe I was missing that little insulator there, but I get it figured out. I'm just gonna get to it. I don't think I have another long left hand though. A shorter one. And that is a right hand. Yep. Got excited there for a minute. I thought I had one. I can always put in a shorter one temporarily. Kind of a pain though. I'd rather just order a big one. I'm gonna try to fix it first. Again, I don't know if you guys saw any of that. Move the trip pins. Yeah, I don't think that wasn't the issue. But I do. I remove my trip pins on a lot of stuff. I don't use magnets or anything, so maybe I'm already there. This job does nothing but stiffen up the joints because I don't move them enough throughout the day. Quiet for your disdain for Code 100. Yeah. Well, like I said, I took advice from some other guys, which they weren't wrong. I'm not unhappy with Code 100. It is true. The Code 83 does look more prototypical. And also at the time, anyways, Code 83 was more expensive. I was just getting back in the hobby after 20 some years of being out. Wasn't really 100% sure that I was going to really want to be in it and stay in it and, you know, taking a little gamble. So starting from scratch and building a good sized layout, even the first time around, I was pretty sure I was going to be fine with the hobby. It wasn't even so much that. There was a lot of upfront money. I know the one video I talked about, like basically where I'm sitting right now, there was a pool table. Came with the house. I just don't think the guy wanted to move it. It was a good table. Needed to be refelted. I think I sold that table $500. So that was my startup money. So I had to include all my track, turnouts, all that kind of stuff. Everything I was going to do. The system, the NCE system. So at the time, like I said, the Code 100 was cheaper. Use Pico, Atlas, and Walders and don't have any problems. Yeah, I just went with the Pico because at first I didn't use any turnout machines of any kind. And I liked the fact that they had the spring-loaded, they're spring-loaded. And I went off of recommendations from other people. And they were and are a good turnout. Again, I think the issue is that turnout has been used and abused and laid down and picked up so many times and ballasted and everything else. I mean, it just might be, part of the tortoise. Okay. Until I'm building your own, yeah. I did a Springfield trip last night. Also had to train a new driver. Oh, okay. New dog, new tricks, old dog. Instead of new dog, old tricks. You get the jigs for doing the points, Jason. Fast track's a half-hour drive for you. Is that the same Fast Tracks that makes like the sweepsticks and everything for like doing radiuses and all that? Try to use switch motor to power the frog. I haven't either. So what do you do, Jason? Use the common is 4, right? 4th pin, or the neutral, whatever you want to call it, common. I know for like the signals, I use 4 and like either 2 or 3 or 5 or 6, right? It's 1 and 8 is the power for the tortoise. And you got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Am I losing my mind? I didn't get any. Use railway engineering and microengineering turnouts. Yeah. Hey, Andreas, how you doing? Good to see you, man. Right, I use the Walters switch machines for that. How to fix what? My issue with the frog, you mean? I have to go look that up. I have a link to it, do you, Matt? You mean the point form tools? Yes, I have jigs for the 5s and 6s. There you go. I'm sure they make jigs for just about any of it, right? Good morning, Lawrence. Gotta go in a minute. It's Corey. Been gone for a while because some guys I work with abused our employer social media policy and YouTube had me in a timeout. I take no shit. Well, hey, Corey. How's it going? Good to see you. Atlas curved turnouts have the metal clip outside the wire. Yeah. That does make it a little nicer. I haven't powered it. Haven't really had any issues with it though. So I mean, this one's like the one I have like directly in front of me on the layout where I'm sitting. It's coming out of the. I just love how they just look so cool, man. I don't know. They're just very like sleek looking. I don't know. Kind of neat. Um, it's coming out of the siding for the yard, the CR&E yard, and so a lot of times I'm kind of creeping through there, and I never lose power. I never had a problem with power. Now most of my locomotives do have keep alives just because that's how I buy them, like scale trains and some of those. I mean, of course, the Atlas, Anther and Genesis do not pay more and get less. Plastic couplers, no keep alive. Don't get me started. Not a fan of Anther for that reason, partly. We all have been doing well and have a great day, everyone. See you all later. Okay, cool, man. Well, good to see you come in, Corey. It's been a while. Good to know. Good to know the reasoning. Looks like the front trucks are on the frog. What I'm thinking is somehow touching both rails. I don't know if it's the trucks. I'll have to try another locomotive. Either way, I want to fix it so that it's not an issue. Period. So it's going to either be a new turnout, nail polish, um, insulated joiners, maybe all of it. I don't know. We'll see. Well, not all of it, but yeah, those are the ones I was talking about. We saw them up at Amherst last year, right? Where they have just the single point, and it doesn't have this in it. It doesn't have the joint there. Damn thing with focus. Just one solid rail from there all the way through up here. You know what I mean? So from this point, everything's backwards. So from this point where this finger is, all the way back here, there's one solid rail on both of those. And it's like springy. And then the spring is back here and it holds it. I heard some guys were having issues with them originally. But I don't know that to be 100% true. Yeah, I will. I'm going to get off of here now and I'll get after it here in a little bit. I'm going to go have some breakfast and then those Picos that I have, electric frogs, I don't think so. I bought them all as Insel frogs. All the packages said Insel frogs. And you can see where the point on that frog is plastic. They look like all the other ones I have, and I've had no issues on those other ones. It just seems to be this one. I almost want to remember I had trouble with one of these, and maybe it was that one before I tore out the old layout. We do a video on powering frogs using Walther switch machine micro switches. Now, that'd be cool. I don't use the Walther's machines just because I have a bunch of tortoises. Too late, but you had James's comment right where you were pointing. Oh, are you talking about? Oh, you mean up on when I was pointing when I had a comment up there? Oh, crap. No. Well, that sucks. I didn't know that. I'm just gonna grab one I have sitting over here. This is a curve turnout, but this is a Pico curve turnout. It's a tight turnout though. I don't know what number this one was. So right in here is where it's shorting out, coming off the diverging route into this area. So I'm thinking okay, you gotta keep in mind a lot of these are older turnouts that I've used. This is just a setup here. So how is that going? That's so I'm getting the short up in here. No, up in here. So when it's coming from this track into this point here, so somewhere in this area is shorting out. It's touching both of these rails, probably back in here. So other than using nail polish, I'm thinking if I go here, put a plastic joiner, and then here, not here, here and here, right? Because this is, if I insulate here and here, that would insulate this frog. This whole section in here would end up being dead. But you would pick up power because I have you pick up power down here on this other rail. It's coming out, out this way. You know what I mean? And you would pick up power when you get back in here. The same thing up here on this rail and this rail. But this would all be dead in here. So that should prevent the short, I would think. Because if this is, I hate this, everything's backwards. If you're running straight, let's see, which one am I looking at up here? Right? You're not getting power on this. This is dead then. Because there's no power coming down the line here. Because it's not touching anything. I don't know if any of that makes sense. In my mind, it makes a lot of sense. It's just hard to hold it up there and do everything backwards. To explain what I'm thinking in my mind, anyways. Okay, 100 staging yards and helix, 100 is cheaper. Plus, I think for the helix, it's good too because you're running on higher rail. So, like, you have more rail to grab with your flanges. I know nobody's running those old pizza wheels anymore from Tyco and stuff, but I was told Code 100 is more forgiving if you're not 100% perfect with your track work. Again, going back to 2017 when I didn't know anything about DCC. I didn't know anything. It's been a long time. So we're just taking the word of other guys that seem reputable and are reputable. I'm still friends with those guys. I don't think any of them were you guys, though. It's a whole different group of people. And HO scale division. I see what's going on with the switch. When I got a Pico switch from my N scale layout, it short circuit display the layout, and I isolated it. Well, that's kind of what I'm thinking. First of all, welcome. That's kind of what I'm thinking is Patch Tracks, same company, okay. 2 and 3 is track power. 4 goes to the frog. So you power the rails by the frog with you use 2 lines going up to the frog, right? Is that what you're saying? And 4 goes to the frog. 2 and 3 goes to your 2 bus lines. And then 1 and 8 is just strictly to power the tortoise itself, the actual motor in there. When an engine crossed over the switch, it gave power to the switch and short circuit layout again. And so you ended up replacing it. Well, may I suggest maybe here and there slowly buy a few pieces of Code 83 and stick up so that when it does happen, you have to rebuild, you can do so with superior track. Not a bad idea, but if I ever tear this one down to rebuild, I'll probably just sell off what's worth selling off as far as track goes. Kind of jumped into that rebuild in 2020 just because I was tired of it. I had the opportunity to expand. There's times where I kind of wish I'd have kept the old layout and just fixed some of the issues I was having. They weren't going to be easy fixes, though. That was the problem. And just expanded the layout. Kind of miss that old layout. I love this layout. I'm glad I did it. But there's times when I look back, I'm like, man, damn it. Why did I do that? I can do a video on wearing a double crossover. Yeah, I remember watching that. All right. I don't think I have a lot of Athearn rolling stock. I think these trailer trains are Athearn. They're pretty nice. Very, very delicate though. Heavy, they're nice as far as that goes, but I think it's just the type of car makes them delicate. The ladders and all that kind of stuff. Got some scale train stuff. I got a lot of Walther stuff, like mainline. What else? Like rolling stock, I'll buy about anything. I like the Genesis. Don't get me wrong. Athearn Genesis, even the locomotives, I just, for what you pay for them, sorry, I think you ought to get metal couplers and a keep alive. That's my personal opinion. You can agree with it or not. It's okay. That's just the way I feel about it. One of my new engines at the Fostoria Club last layout. Turns out one of the axles was out of gauge. And that's something I have to look at too. I'm going to try some other locomotives. I'm going to check the gauge on that one just to make sure. All right, Chris, I'm getting out of here too. I seriously got to go. Yeah. Yeah, I reached out to Joe about those silos too. They're pretty cool, man. Oh, that's cool, James. Fundraising for breakfast programs. That's a good idea. Yeah, with Chessie system going on there. Yeah, that's what I'm getting ready to do. Insulating paint. I never thought of that. I can see if where the two tracks come together that the plastic is not missing as it comes out of the frog section. All right. Yeah, I'll examine it more. Like I said, it was late last night. I kind of was looking at it a little bit when I was over there. Unfortunately, you guys couldn't see it because I had the comment up on the screen. Sorry about that. Problem could be in the frog points. Not enough gap where the plastic tip is. Area between the two frog wings that prevents derails. I mean, very well possible, yeah. I'll try a few things. I'll update you. Multimeter check continuity. Have a great day. Yeah, same here, Grandpa. I mean, some guys like Chris are a little snobby about that code 83. Just kidding. Yeah, well, that's true too. That's what I was saying. Like in your Helix, it's not a bad idea to use it just because it gives you that little extra security. I think that's the reason I went with it. That was a recommendation I had. Being I wasn't real confident in my abilities to lay track and flex track and all. Last time I had a layout, I was a teenager. I was terrible at all that soldering and laying flex track and all that. I was terrible at all that. So I was a little nervous getting back into it, and then so it was recommended to go with the code 100, being they say it was more forgiving and so on and so forth. So here we are. I'm very happy with my code 100 for the most part. Only time I notice that it's bigger is when I go to somebody else's layout that has code 83. Yeah, it was near the end of the year. I tore it down just before like Christmas and that. I restarted the room. I was just going back through my videos. I tried to clean up my playlist a little bit, guys. I mean, you go through my playlist, I kind of have it where it's more separated into CR&E version like 1.0 and then 2.0, kind of trying to separate things a little bit just so that, you know what I mean, to get the two layouts kind of separated. There's some like room build 2.0, benchwork 2.0, and then layout build. The live streams are separate between On Track Tuesday, which I'm doing On Track Tuesday this coming week, just a reminder. And then CR&E Morning Brew is another place. I used to have a lot of them in live playlist. Clean that playlist up. There's only like 5 or 6 videos of one that's marked just live. Those were like some random lives I did, just popped up running trains and stuff like that. Athearn, no, they're good. They're very detailed. They're good. I felt like they weren't as good a puller as Scout Trains was. But it just really bugs me. It's so stupid. It's a $5 coupler. 2 couplers, $5. KD. Yeah, I can spend it myself and replace them, and I do when I get an Athearn. But with that being said, you're already charging them $320 some now for a locomotive or whatever the hell you're charging. You can't throw in couplers. Even scale trains, even though they're crappy couplers, are at least metal when you buy them on the rivet counters. Now the operators are plastic couplers, but you're paying for what you get, I guess. Anyways. Then when you go to add a keep alive, say they're like one of those units, where the hell do you put it? You got to squeeze it in there somewhere. They don't even leave you a spot for it, as far as I know. I haven't added any keep alives. I got 2 Athearns sitting up there. Is that all the Athearn Genesis I have? 3. 3 Athearn Genesis. None of them have keep alives. I think that's it. Nah, I got the 2 Amtraks up there too. They don't have keep alives. So I got 5 Genesis. They're all $300 locomotives. Well, I lied. George Bush and the Veterans Unit I bought a while back, so I got those 280, 275, 285, somewhere in there. Either way, just had it's. Let's see. Anyone in the aquariums are dropping a new video soon at a local shop with a spectacular selection of fish. I'm not into aquariums, but that is interesting. You know who's in the aquariums? Is D-Rail Darrow. I'm going to give him a call. I haven't talked to him in a while. I just had no telling how many electric blue lobsters I get store credit for each one at the local pet store. Huh, that's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I would be a lot further along on this layout. I made a lot of changes, so that's kind of slowed things down. Thank you to Jason, the train freak, for he's been my basically a lot of input on this layout, even after the original plan, with change orders that I've had. Crayfish. Yeah, I don't know. Now I've had yeah, I don't know. I take that back. I got a couple. 1, 2, 3. So I got 8 Aether and Genesis. I got 4 Atlas up there. A lot of damn locomotives, guys. Shit. There's one Aether and Genesis that put in a new Tsunami 2 with Keep Alive. That was fun getting them in the show. And the one that just shorts like crazy. It's short sitting on a piece of straight track. So I don't know if it's a motor thing, or if I have to put new trucks on it. I have no idea what that one. That thing, I just put it back on the shelf. I got tired of it. That's cool. Is that not really a thing that I've ever really been into? But yeah. Hey, Bernard. I don't know. I find that humorous that the guy over the engineering for that time period is now at Scale Trains. I wish they'd get somebody over the damn quality and control. Scale Trains. It's starting to piss me off. And a couple of issues, the fact Aether owns McHenry couplers, so that's one reason you'll never see Katie's. Okay, well, how would you make McHenry's metal? Update them. It's been 100 years since you've had McHenry's. Not 100, but you know what I mean? They've had them forever. Would you update them? Nobody comes around. I'm not yelling at you, Randall. I'm just talking in general. I'm not arguing with you, man. I agree they're nice locomotives. I just think that they fall short in the things they could do for their customers as far as upgrading, staying in competition with companies like Scale Trains and Rapido and so on and so forth. I don't have any Rapido, but I actually pre-ordered a couple of Rapido. Hoping they take a couple years to get here, though. Too many locomotives on pre-order. Yeah, I can understand why they go with McHenry because of that issue, that they own them. But again, why can't they? There's got to be a way to make them metal. I mean, even KD upgraded from number 5s to number 148s to put those whiskers on there. Number 5s are kind of going by the wayside. Kind of. Okay, Mike, take care. Again, I am getting out of here. Wait for the sales. I've got 2 Aether Genesis cabooses coming. 1 DC sound and lights, and 1 DC and lights. Well, that's not bad. I remember when they first came out with those damn things, they were $100 plus. Was it the Athens or was it somebody else? They came out with the cabooses with the lights and all that stuff. It was about a year or two back now. About 25 around the bedroom walls through the closet out into the living room. Oh, that's cool. Must not have a wife that tells you not to do that. Or you have a cool wife that says, yeah, let's do that. Yeah, that's true. I forgot they did kind of get bought up by them. Well, you know what? Then they could keep their locomotives and I'll keep buying things other than theirs. And that's okay. That's why we have choices. I am on a rant. It just annoys me though, man. They're actually, they're charging more for their locomotives than scale trains. I always sound like such a shill for scale trains, and I apologize. I just do like their product. Although they're pissing me off a lot lately too with control issues. Well, I got 3 locomotives sitting in their shop right now. Brand new locomotive I just got. Step is broke off. It's not like it was even in the box. It's nowhere to be found, so I can't even like glue it on myself. And I got a wavy handrail. This should easily have been caught with a little bit of quality control. So I put in an order for that. And 2 of those locomotives have been there since January, early January. And the other one I just sent back. It was one of those, it was the third of 3 of the AC 4400s from that first run. I finally had to send the third one in. The other 2 have already been in with motors and boards. They had a bad run of motors or some shit, and it's frying the boards. Or that's what the one guy told me. So now they got the third one sitting in the shop. So they're not perfect either, believe me. But they're still charging less for a brand new locomotive. Still expensive, but less than Athearn. And you're getting metal, crappy, but metal couplers. And they come with stay alives, whatever their version of it is. So you're getting more for the money. And they're, at least from the ones I have here, of course, there's like my biggest ones from Athearn Genesis I have here are SD70 AC Aces. SD70 Aces, I don't think they're Max, I think they're Aces. So all I have to compare that to are the Gevos or the SD40-2s that I have from Scale Trains. And Scale Trains is much heavier, and they pull more. They're more along the line of a BLI, which I'll never buy another one of those junkers. Every one I've had of those I've had to sell or get rid of. I can't take them. Protomax are the ones that they come with, right? Any of the Walthers mainline or any Walthers train cars that I've bought, I don't have Walthers locomotives. I don't have any of those. Any of their train cars, like I said, I buy the mainline pretty much mostly. I do have a couple of Walthers Protos, a couple of those newer 4-bay hoppers, like pellet hoppers. Oh, are they? Well, that'd be cool. You talking about McHenry? Where was I going? Like I don't replace the metal wheels; they're pretty good. Same thing with Scout Trains. I don't replace their metal wheels. I buy strictly Intermountain metal wheels when I use them, like when I'm building, say, a kit, because I don't know, I just like them. So I don't replace the wheels on any of those, or Athearn for that matter. But the couplers on the Walthers, I haven't had any issues with. They're nice metal couplers too. So until I have an issue with them, I'm going to keep staying with those. When it comes on the car, I don't run anything plastic. My personal preference. I'm not judging anybody that does, believe me. Just my personal preference. Most anything you buy anymore has metal couplers on it. I take that back. All the operators from Scout Trains are plastic, crappy. They're crappy style couplers, and they're plastic. They look good, but they're crap, in my opinion. Here decided it was okay to do make railroad passenger cars an N scale, but not HL. Speaking of Rapido, my passenger cars I got off eBay will be in today. Sorry to the Penn Central fans, but they will be repainted. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, just not Tangent. There you go, Randall. I know one of those companies made them. They were nice, but man, $100 plus for a caboose. I don't know. But see, I don't like paying $50 for a rail car either. You know, man, it's got to be something really special. Yeah, yeah. Thanks, guys. Yeah, this was on the. It's on the Atlantic Coastline Heritage Unit. It's just one step. It's a rear step, and then I mean the handrail I could probably live with, but it is pretty like better in shape. You know what I mean? And for a brand new locomotive, you spend $300 on plus. I expect it to be right. Sorry. And I've already replaced all the couplers on those. Speaking of that, geez, those are getting expensive. The 39-8 I didn't have any troubles with, but I bought them like in the very first run. I got the Conrail patched out for CSX, and then I got the YN2 CSX up there. Way too old for my era. Again, I bought them when I had the other layout, which was a little older layout era. Athearn Genesis are a tsunami decoder. And like I said, they got those McHenry plastic couplers. Unless they changed it, they don't have any kind of stay alive, keep alive. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like all those mainline roller side because you can just about crash those things into a brick wall and won't damage them. And they're nice. They're detailed enough. I love their little 2-bay hoppers. Sand hoppers. And they, at the time I was buying them, you were getting them for about $20 a piece too. No more now, obviously, because everything is, but yeah, and they come with, like I said, they're Walters mainline. They look decent. They got a decent amount of detail. Not terrible. Could it be better? Sure. But for what you're getting money wise, metal wheels and they're metal couplers. The Protomax, whatever you call them. I don't know what they're called, but I'm fine with them. And I like the price. When you're trying to build a train of some item, some sort, so you're building a coal train, you know, or say you're building a hopper train, I mean, you don't want to spend $50 a car. I don't. Hey, Papa John, I'd rather be more, yeah, no doubt. I'll go along with that one. Well, that's cool. Good. Maybe they'll include them on their $325 locomotives. Well, the new scale trains run of these next run of heritage units run up to 310. Who knows? Maybe more now. Katie needs to offer bulk packs, 100 or 250 count, and price accordingly. Well, you could get 50 pairs. which is 25, and I think you can get 100 pairs, which is not 100 pairs. 50 pairs would be a 100 count. 25 pairs is a 50 count. They do sell those. I use the 148s, but you get 158s that way too. Those are more of the scale heads. I use the semi-scale heads, I guess. Don't do anything that looks prototypical, apparently. But I mean, prices are up there, you know. Yeah, I mean, you got to get it for the granddaughter, of course. Yeah. I don't know if they're huge. They're scale. They say they're scale, anyways. Mine are huge because I use the 148s, which are the semi-scale heads. The 158s, KDs, are the scale heads. But here again, that's something that was recommended to me back when I started, that they're more forgiving. Like if your track work is a little off, you have more meat on the coupler to catch and not separate. And since I started that way, everything basically has that kind of a head on it. So they just run better together. See, like last week, I was having issues with this train derailing constantly, remember? Not once today. Only issues when I shorted the system out, running out of the locomotive, but it hasn't come off the track, hasn't given me any issues. We've been on an hour and a half, and I had it running probably 15, 20 minutes beforehand just to make sure I didn't have any issues with it. Yeah, trains need to offer operator locomotives again. I left the budget. They did. I agree with you 100%. I think you and I kind of went back and forth in agreement on one of their Facebook posts. I agree with you. That was their whole thing. Value, budget, all that stuff. And they've gone strictly to everything else. They got, and it's nice they've offered a range of different things for guys that want museum quality stuff. Soundtracks make Tsunami not integrated, I don't think. Jason might be able to answer that one. No. Yeah. But here's the thing. You have to find somewhere to put that keep alive. They have two versions. One's more long and flat, and the other one's more square and chunky. Neither one's easy to get anywhere. So, I mean, I literally had to cut weights out of locomotives and everything else. Well, bad news, guys. It's empty. Definitely got to go now. I love Iron Planet. Plus, if you use Heath's code, human, there's like 10% off. So, right. Well, there are ESU boards too. So, but either way, they're built in to the locomotive. However they do it, I don't know. I mean, we'll go with it if you want to. I love when they say, they're collector's items and it's worth all this money. So, yeah. Roller bearing caps. That's why they give you extras in the box or in a little baggie when you buy them. Yeah, it's still something to do with, I don't know if it's just the way they do their board for scale trains ESU or what, but I think it's, Jason could correct me, I think it's you lose some lighting functions. Like you can't just take a 21-pin decoder, Soundtracks decoder, and plug it into that board. You get some functions, I think, but not everything. You'd have to change the whole board out to like a decoder buddy or just change the whole board out, period. And do like a PMP board or whatever. But that would require you to solder and all that stuff to solder the new board in. So an operator, I asked Drayton about that on Facebook. He said the Rivet County locomotives were far outselling the operator locomotives. Yeah, I do like the old stuff. Like I'll build a lot of like Accurel and blue box kits and stuff like that. A lot of my grain fleet, especially my grain fleet, is Accurel and Roundhouse and just kits that I bought and built because I have fun building them. I like building the kits. Prefer to turn the sound off. Yeah, I got the sound off now. I like hearing the clacking over the joints and stuff. With metal wheels, it's pretty cool. They still 50 pack max. Talking about the KDs, 50 pairs. So it's 100 couplers if you're buying 50 pairs. Oh, losing cars. But James, I'm sure you could like just email soundtracks. You know what I mean? And they'd probably be able to give you an answer on what's compatible and what's not. The rolling side was selling high enough numbers that they're keeping those active, which is why they're still doing operator rolling stock. Well, good, because I'm not spending what they want on rivet counters. I'll buy the locomotives that way because that's my preference. However, I do think it's a shame that they're not offering the operators like they used to, because I think there's a lot of guys that still prefer those. And because they've shied away from making them for whatever, like you said, the reasons are, guys are buying other products from other companies. But I like their operator rolling stock. It rolls great. It's heavy enough, looks good enough. You know, I'm happy with that. Other than the coupler, and that's their own coupler. So kind of, I guess, like the McHenry thing, they own that coupler and they're going to stick with it, and that's okay. I'm just going to replace it. So that's all right. Oh, hey, Edward, Happy Valley Hobbies. Yeah, see, now Rapido is something I don't really have any of. Something I would like to remedy, just because I've heard good things about them. I'd like to try them out. Yeah, I got a couple of them. I got one in a refrigerated car. I got one in a grain car. Not a fan of ready to run, rolling stock, build old kits. Yeah, I like the ready to run stuff, but I also like building kits. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's just it. They're not offering the different schemes and stuff. Now, the operators they didn't have keep alives in those, right? Or if I remember correctly. the locomotives. Because I have two SD40s that I kept because I weathered them all up and everything, and I like them. That are not, they don't have keep alives. I'm just going to call them keep alives, you know what I mean? Current keepers or whatever. All right, guys. That's enough of this. Appreciate y'all coming in. Stay positive, run train. Yeah. Well, you've already seen where Scale Trains just announced now you have to buy $300 or something worth of shit to get free shipping, where it used to be $99 and over. And I think Walther's announced something about something with shipping as well. And they're blaming it all on the tariffs, that whatever. Any excuse to raise prices. You know, MRM moving to America or going under. What's MRM? All right, guys. We will see you next time. I'll catch you Tuesday on Track Tuesday. So for now, that'll be it. I will talk to you guys next time on my railroad manufacturer. All right. Bye for now.